Live from the SoCap Comedy Theater in beautiful downtown Toronto, it's And the Scotch Eggs Comedy Game Showdown. Please welcome your host, Dan Donnelly.
Hello, and welcome to And a Scotch Eggs Comedy Game Showdown. I'm Dan Donnelly, and I'll be your host this evening. How are you guys feeling tonight? Excellent. What a lovely crowd we have here. Tonight, our episode is GameSharks. It is a video game-themed show. I hope you will enjoy that. And it's very apropos because I spent about 30 hours in the last 2 weeks playing Persona 3 Reload instead of prepping this show. Persona 3 is a great game that I spent $80 for again, even though I have spent $80 for it 3 previous times. Persona 3 was a real milestone in the series. It's where they finally had the brilliant idea to combine the traditional hack and slash of traditional JRPG combat in Shin Megami Tensei with dating sim elements from such classics as Tokimeki Memorial. But unusually for dating sims, it's the dating sim where you are the hottest person. In the dating sim, the main character is definitely the most fuckable character in that game. And in fact, he is the most fuckable character in all of JRPGs. Sorry, Cloud. Maybe you would be if they hadn't pussied out putting that scene in the remake, but they did. So we didn't get to see it. Note I say the sexiest character in all of JRPGs, but not in all of video games. We love Komaeda for various reasons. There's something about Komaeda, not just his look, but his voice. And I am aware that it is the voice of a 60-year-old Japanese woman who happens strangely to voice every character that I find myself attracted to. So maybe I'm straight after all. Maybe she's my soulmate. I don't know. I guess Komaeda appreciates my attention. But before you think I'm too weird about it, they know what they're doing, okay? They know that this is a character who is, let's say, beloved by fans. What am I talking about? Oh, yeah, Persona 3. The thing about the dating elements in Persona 3 is they're all circled around something called social links, where you go out and make friends with various people. But despite his incredible sexiness, the main character in Persona 3 is definitely a sociopath. And let me tell you why. The entire thing revolves around him hanging out with people and only telling them exactly what they want to hear, even though it is clearly not the right thing for a friend to do. Maybe this is just my autism speaking, but I will give you an example. In the game, you join the track team, and I'll show you a picture because we get to see him in his little track shorts. And your friend on the track team has a knee injury, and he is powering through it. And the whole time, you're just encouraging him, saying, yeah, don't tell your fucking mom about this. Don't tell your doctor about this. Keep fucking training. Turn that temporary injury into a permanent disability until he finally gets to the end of his social link and realizes that maybe you were a good friend all along. It's very weird. But I think that it makes sense because the main character of Persona 3, his special power is actually that he is empty inside. And so, I guess all we can really do is fill him up. I guess that's why they call it Reload. All right. Are you guys ready for your show? All right, we're going to get started after a quick word from our sponsor, Arcane. Did you know that the developers of League of Legends, a multiplayer battle arena with absolutely no in-game plot, have dumped literally hundreds of millions of dollars into developing an extensive lore for a game that most of us thought was just a place for maladjusted 15-year-old boys to channel all of their endless aggression until they're finally old enough to dump it into political processes like everyone else? Well, they do. For some reason. Yes, League of Legends, a game whose teeming multitude of two-dimensional 3D characters exist for no other reason than to serve as digital coat hangers for an endless parade of vanity skins purchased with the unearned collective wealth of millions of parental credit cards, now has a TV show. And it has really cool Art Deco and Art Nouveau design for some reason, so I guess you could watch it if you like that. So anyway, yeah, if you like that kind of thing, go ahead. fire up Netflix, and if they haven't yet cracked down on your shared password, you can check it out and finally learn the detailed backstories of all of your favorite league champions, like Pinky Tuscadero and Emo Smurfette. And gay science man who's slowly dying of something that only coincidentally looks like AIDS but definitely isn't. But they're not going to tell you what it actually is. And Professor Fluffernutter. Arcane, it's a show for some reason, and you can watch it, I guess. All right, are you guys ready for your show? All right, we're going to bring up our 2 teams of contestants. Up first are the Duck Hunters. Please welcome Nikki Ashworth, DK Phan, and Keegan Hawkeswood. And up against the Duck Hunters, their mortal enemies, the Windwakers. Please welcome Joey Crewe, Sebastian D. Chow, and Andy Wong. All right, everybody, we're going to take just a second to get settled here. All right, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Are you guys ready? Excellent. We are going to get our game started with a pop quiz. The first question, the category is, it's a who? Easily the most iconic video game character of all time, Mario technically originated from what other iconic character from the golden age of animation? Yes, Nikki, very excited.
Pipe Fitter Willie.
More like Pipe Layer Willie, according to Peach.
I don't know. Mario always seemed like more of a pipe diver to me.
Yeah. Mario goes both ways, as long as it's not to the left, but you get the idea. Yes, Sebastian.
Donald Duck, who coincidentally is now also going to be played by Chris Pratt using his natural voice.
Excellent. I'm really looking forward to that. Yes, Joey.
It was Mr. Magoo.
Yeah.
Mario is actually stumbling his way through every level with no idea of what is actually happening around him.
That is a fair description of my platforming skills in the NES era, so that's definitely true. Don't blame me. I was only 6. Yeah.
It was actually Pac-Man.
It was actually Pac-Man?
Yeah, have you noticed the sound when he goes down the tube?
Did you know that Pac-Man originates from pucku pucku, which is a Japanese onomatopoeic sound for gobbling something up? Sorry, that was the Scott Pilgrim reference for today. Yes, Nikki.
Jumping Italy Boy.
Jumping Italy Boy. That sounds racist somehow.
Italians don't count.
It's like something... No, it's like something they would have said in 1918. You know, it was WAP, jumping Italy boy.
God. It was that. The Japanese.
I can say that.
The Japanese and the Italians can be racist to each other because they were both wrong in World War II.
That is true. That is true. Or were they? No. The Italians didn't get their act together enough to do anything terrible. Anyone else? Yes, Keegan.
Dan, I know it's not the debate section, but I propose a question to you.
Yes.
Is Mario cut or uncut?
Oh, that's a good question because he is Italian, but he's Italian-American.
Exactly.
And Italian-American from like grease pot Italian-American in like Staten Island. So
exactly.
my guess is cut. Luigi's uncut.
Okay.
Luigi just has to be uncut.
Luigi, 100% uncut.
I'm weighing in, guys.
Okay.
So I'm going to say uncut, and it looks like a warp pipe.
Whoa! I would have gone with the Tanuki like boot item, the little sock that it looks like. He is famous for the mushroom head though, so like
that's true.
I don't know that lends
those spots on it. You go get that checked out by Dr. Mario.
Hey, he needs to get that checked out. Yeah.
Yeah, he got a fungal infection back when Peach was still Princess Toadstool. I've done that joke before. Listen to the other video game episode for that joke.
Would the Goombas just be his foreskin running around then and he jumps on them?
It's like the little bits of
the Goombas are just.
yeah. It's like it's like the
Goombas just have
relics
darker
of the
skin.
foreskin
You don't
of
have to be-
Christ that every church has. All right, are we enough about Mario's dick?
For now.
No, yeah, for now. It's never really enough, according to Peach. Yes, all right, so I will give you guys the real answer, which is that unfortunately, you guys know in the golden age of animation, they still had a lot of minstrel type characters, and so Mario is actually based on the character Jumpman Jim Crow. But since it was the 80s and only Disney could still get away with characters with origins in blackface, they just made him Italian instead because, as Nikki pointed out, Italians are fine.
I like
Mustache
that-
face is the last acceptable form of bigotry.
It's nice that they didn't get rid of all of the racism.
Yeah. The real answer actually is Popeye the Sailor. This is a fascinating story that I just found out doing research for the show. Originally, the original Donkey Kong game was supposed to be a Popeye game. And so Donkey Kong was supposed to be Brutus, and Popeye was supposed to be, or Jumpman was supposed to be Popeye, and Pauline was supposed to be Olive Oil. But then Miyamoto decided that he couldn't do justice to the characters with the graphics at the time, so he made new ones. And then they made a Popeye arcade game a year later. So...
That whole thing sounded like a lie.
Yeah, it is true. You can look it up. You can look it up. It's part of our educational mandate. All of my true answers are true. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. The category is Adventure Capitalists. Inspired by the success of their own Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toys, as well as the popularity of Sonic the Hedgehog, Playmate Toys created what video game franchise to capitalize on toy sales? Yes, Andy.
Hungry hobos.
I think that's just what happens to the losers in Monopoly, right? Living in Hooverville.
Listen, Dad, if you're playing Monopoly, you're already a loser. You can't beat capitalism.
That's true. Yeah, Nikki.
Leonard the Choking Hazard.
Ooh, very popular in the 80s before toy safety took off.
Also delicious.
Also delicious. Yes, Sebastian.
Can I just say that Playmate Toys doesn't sound like a brand of children's toys?
Yeah.
It sounds like something that comes bundled with baby oil on Amazon.
That's true. Definitely some of them are inflatable for sure, and some of them are probably also a choking hazard. Hazard, perk, whatever. Anyone else for Playmate Toys? Yes.
My Little Mortal Kombat.
My Little Mortal Kombat. Get over here. I read a fan fiction with that line in it, actually. Yeah.
G.I. Joey Crewe.
Whoa, and he's here with us tonight in full military gear.
Can you please tell us why your toys didn't sell?
It turns out that boys didn't want 12-inch dolls, but once they cut it down to 6 inches, they felt less threatened.
I think they sold it to girls
boys
at that
didn't
point.
Want those?
Boys besides Keegan didn't want 12-inch dolls with whom you play dress up in military outfits. Actually, it is kind of hot, isn't it? Sebastian, did you just ring in?
I said what Keegan said, but less gay and less funny.
I know, it's tough to be me.
Keegan, but less gay and less funny is a good description of you, actually.
We're both wearing flannel, but I'm just wearing the blue version.
We can fix that. We can fix that. Anybody else for toy series? No? Okay. The real answer is Earthworm Jim. Were there Earthworm Jim toys?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. And there was a cartoon.
Do people not
All
know
right.
worms are free?
I won't watch any cartoon about bait. Unless it's queer bait. And then we like She-Ra. All right. So we're going to move on to the next one, I guess. The category is Scott Pilgrim Spouts Off because of Pac-Man. So what were the official English names of the 4 ghosts in Pac-Man? Yes, Nikki.
Death, famine, pestilence, and war.
Yes. DK?
Ann Coulter, Tucker Carlson, Milo Yiannopoulos, and Steve Bannon.
Unfortunately, Nikki already said the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Haha, we're living through it now. Has anybody heard from Milo Yiannopoulos in like the last 8 years?
No, thank God.
Apparently, he's straight now. He's advocating for conversion therapy.
I thought he was married to a black man.
Honestly, I'd
you-
advocate for his conversion therapy. We don't want him.
I gotta say, young Milo was kind of hot. Before he went off. He was nice, but then he became chocolatey like Nestle Milo. I don't even know what that means. Yeah.
They were Waka, Waka Waka, Doo Doo Doo, and Womp Womp.
Where did you get that?
They're in the game. He's clearly screaming their names in fear.
Waka Waka. Wait, does that mean Fozzie Bear is screaming in fear whenever he tells a joke?
It's more like existential dread, but yeah.
Yeah. I guess he is a real comedian after all. Yep.
Dorothy, Rose, Blanche, and Sophia.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm assuming that Blanche is the one that aggressively chases after Pac-Man.
Yeah, originally they tried it with Dorothy's friend Lois, but she just kept going after Rose.
Yeah, that's a deep Golden Girls cut.
Honestly, fun Golden Girls at home game. Like, start an episode and try to guess within the first 5 minutes what the lesson of the week is, because half the time you'll be right and half the time you will be wildly wrong.
I'm glad it took them a few years, but I'm glad they brought in another gay character after they fired Manuel the gay cook from the pilot episode.
Honestly, he had it coming. He wasn't good.
Did you know that Susan Harris, the creator of the Golden Girls, her son is Sam Harris, the atheist and anti-Muslim tool?
No?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He is. That's what being rich in television and sending your kids to private schools does. That's not a joke so much as a fact. Our educational mandate rears its head again. Yeah.
The 4 Pac-Man ghosts are diners, drive-ins, and dives, and Guy Fieri.
Competing with Donkey Sauce, which they got from Donkey Kong,
Yes,
I
of course,
assume,
of course.
or Pauline did. I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so there is David, Dave, guy whose name I should know yet, but I don't, and other Dave.
I
Are
remember
those
other
what
Dave.
my
I don't
mom
think the
thinks
others
are the
true.
names of the kids in the hall? Like,
I think she just named off the cast of all the guys from The Bachelor.
You would know more than me.
all right. Anybody else for the Pac-Man ghosts? All right. So this is a long story. So in the original Japanese version of the game, the ghosts were named Oikake, Machibuse, Kimagure, and Otoboke, which translate respectively to chaser, ambusher, fickle, and stupid.
These are all slurs in the gay community.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody said it.
So when the game was exported to the US, Midway Games changed their names officially to Shadow, Speedy, Bashful, and Pokey,
Translates perfectly.
and then gave them the nicknames Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde. So that is the full story of the ghosts in Pac-Man.
And Clyde in Miss Pac-Man is called Sue, I think. They changed the name.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deep cut.
Yeah, not Lois, who would have fit in better in Miss Pac-Man. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. The category is F2P, PvP, CCP. In the free-to-play team shooter Valorant, there are many agents of different backgrounds with a variety of special abilities. What is the Chinese agent's ultimate ability? I will note that 3 cast members are Asian. Yeah, go ahead, Andy.
Andy
Wong.
Wong. I think her special ability is redrawing your borders on your mini-map.
Yeah. Isn't that how the Barbie movie got banned in Vietnam?
Yeah, because apparently, according to them, Vietnam belongs in China, too.
Yeah. Yes,
Is it-
DK Phan.
Yeah. I'm Chinese. Vietnamese doesn't exist anymore, I guess, according to China. Is it doing a shittier knockoff version of someone else's ult?
Yes. It also takes 3 to 6 months to charge the move after you order it on Temu. Yeah, Nikki?
Okay, so they tell the white agents who went on spring break when they come back that their newly acquired Hanza tattoos actually mean awful things.
Yeah. Something tells me they'll also have to start by explaining what Hanzi means.
Yeah, I can't even pronounce it.
No.
So I have nothing to lose.
It's a good thing you don't have a tattoo that I can see. Yes, Sebastian.
A noodle whip. It does double damage against female agents.
Are they hand-pulled noodles? Hey. I've actually been meaning to try that. I found a good method online. Yeah, go ahead.
I just
Andy.
wanted to clarify it was Sebastian Chow.
Yes. Sorry. All right. Anybody else for the ultimate ability of the Chinese agent in Valorant? Our white panelist besides Nikki won't touch it. That's cool.
You know, the problem is, Dan, that all the agents look the same to me. I don't
no.
notice those things.
And I punched up. How dare you?
So the real answer is that he can res your teammates, which is a good ability. Yep.
I just wanted to add, I find it mildly insulting that her other ability is to build a wall.
She half American?
Is it a giant firewall?
Hey! She's going to start working closely with the Trump administration coming in. At least somebody will be able to get it done. All right.
I think one of her custom skins is a Winnie the Pooh outfit.
Z's going to have a problem with that. All right. Anyone else before we move on? Yes.
I think if Z had his way, she wouldn't even exist. She would have been aborted.
Okay. So go ahead.
Instead of team chat, she just uses line.
Okay, that's the first appearance of the shut the fuck up horn, which tells all of you guys to shut the fuck up.
Too many Asian.
All right. We already gave you the answer, so we're going to move on to the next one. The category is To the Moon, which is a great game if you haven't played it. What was the first video game to be played in space? Yes, Nikki.
Does a vibrator count as a video game?
Fun fact, because I'm full of fun facts, you know. Hitachi, makers of the infamous Magic Wand and like tractors and shit, also produced a failed video game console in 1995 that made the Atari Jaguar kind of look like the N64. It cost $2,000 and it ran Windows 95 underpowered, and its best-selling game, which was a flight simulator, sold 900 copies.
That doesn't answer my question.
Okay, so technically speaking, a vibrator is a peripheral, not a game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A Wiimote is a vibrator.
I've definitely seen that a lot. Yeah.
Mummy's little secret.
Is she using her kids? Never mind.
Playtime's not just for the kids. The Wii is a console for everybody. The best-selling console of all time. You don't think there's a coincidence?
We Fit, more like we fit it in. Also, the best-selling console of all time is the PS2. So
What?
Yep.
I love using it without the protector.
I looked it up today, so.
I heard
Yes,
Nikki
Nikki.
has a closet full of Nintendo 64 Rumble packs.
And a lot of double D batteries.
What do you think the middle of the controller is for? You're not supposed to hold it with anything. You stick it in.
That's true.
All right, was it a hentai dating sim? I imagine it gets pretty lonely up there.
Not if you have the right peripheral. Yes, Keegan.
The part in Final Fantasy IV where you go to the moon?
No.
Okay. The part in Final Fantasy VIII where you go to the moon?
Also no.
Okay. The part in Final Fantasy 16 where you have like way too much sexual tension with your little brother?
Well, that is true. I don't know what that has to do with space.
You literally merge with him, Dan. If that's not the final frontier, what is?
That's true. That's true. To be fair, I'm not sure it's possible to depict a butch, battle-hardened revolutionary's deep and abiding fraternal love for a waifish, chronically ill twink prince slowly dying of magic tuberculosis without it accidentally being kind of hot. So, all right. No one else has that kink. No one else has that kink. Yep.
So I don't know about rocket ships. All I know is that a game controller didn't do well for the Titan submersible.
No, it did not. But that's why you go up, not down. You want to decrease the pressure, not increase it. So,
Science.
Yeah, science and how you get good at games. Yeah.
Was it Space Invaders? But plot twist: the Space Invaders were humans. Wake up, sheeple! We're aliens.
Fuck, what's the name? Starship Troopers. It's Starship Troopers is what you're talking about, right? Yeah.
Back to the Titan submersible. I think it's a skill issue. I think that I could have done it. I think that I could have brought it back up.
Yeah.
I'm good at games. Okay.
Right, left, up, down.
You're not Korean enough, so you still would have lost.
Yeah, you're never gonna get up with the North American lag. Yeah.
Is it Super Mario Land 2 because there's a part where Mario goes to the moon? No.
Does that actually happen?
Yeah, in Super Mario Land 2.
Oh, Super Mario Land 2.
Super Mario Land, not
I'm
the-
thinking of Super Mario 2 Doki Doki Panic.
No, not that. Not
Not
where
that
he's in
one
a
where you
dream.
throw turnips, but the one where you go to space.
No, it's the one on the Game Boy.
Oh,
Like
okay.
the OG Game Boy.
Okay. No. Is the answer.
At the end of Doki Doki Panic, you reach an American flag point, like in a crater, and you realize you were on the moon the whole time.
Whoa. And then that
in the
is
game.
on a soundstage, and Stanley Kubrick is there.
And you're dead.
And you're dead. All right. That's enough of that. All right. Thank you, guys. So it turns out that Space Quest was released in 1986, and they brought a copy up on the Challenger. And it turns out that 73 seconds without dying was actually a record for a Sierra adventure game. So That was good. All right, no one played Sierra games. That's fine.
I did. I was like, wait, this is a real fact? I didn't know. I was impressed. I wanted to hear more facts.
No, the real answer is in 1993, the cosmonaut Alexander A. Seberov brought a Game Boy and a copy of Tetris to the space station Mir in the most stereotypical act you can possibly imagine. Okay, now we can move on. That's it for the first pop quiz. And we're going to move on to meet your contestants. Are you guys excited to meet the people up in front of you today?
Yeah.
All right. No. All right. First up, we have the Duck Hunters. The last game Nikki Ashworth played was Untitled Goose Game. She relates to the eponymous goose because she too loves to annoy the inhabitants of quaint English villages by planning pranks, stealing their sandwiches, and honking a lot.
I made that noise.
Yes. Nikki, I will grant that you are in fact quite a lot like the goose, but it says here that you are also like Pong.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate?
Yeah, so I'm high contrast, flat, and easy to play.
That's nice. All right, give Nikki a hand, everybody. Next up with the Duck Hunters, DK Phan is an avid League of Legends player and in fact met his wife through playing that game, so it's safe to say that both of them are probably toxic, abusive people who don't take any accountability for their own mistakes. Also, they're both probably 15-year-old boys with undiagnosed ADHD. DK, what is the secret to your success?
Sorry, what was the question? I wasn't paying attention. I have ADHD.
We'll give you some Adderall after the show.
Oh, I remember now. It's up, down, down, left, right, BA select start.
Congratulations, you win, is what I would say if Konami had made anything but phone games and pachinko machines in the last 10 years. But they haven't, so too bad.
Was that not part of the bit? You looked so locked in, and you're just like, where am I?
It's called acting, Sebastian, okay?
They have online pharmacies now where you can get your speed. It's fine. All right, give it up for DK, everybody. Up next with the Duck Hunters, Keegan Hawkeswood was not born to humans. He was unlocked when someone entered the Konami code into the Kingdom Hearts title screen. Keegan, if you could use any cheat code in real life, what would it be?
Okay, so I know it would be glamorous to be like, okay, I'll use the Rosebud cheat code from The Sims and just give myself a ton of money. But they don't actually have a cheat code for the things that I want. Like, I just want a code that makes anyone I want gay. And not for like, not for sinister sexual reasons or anything like that. Like, just gay people are more fun. Apologies to all the straights on the panel. It's true. So yeah, I just want a little rainbow code.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can make that happen. At least one of them can probably be turned.
It happened before.
Yeah. I think maybe G.I. Joey has a fetish we can unlock.
I don't think I've unlocked Keegan yet. He's still just a black silhouette next to me.
No, that's just his Grindr profile. All right, give it up for Keegan and the rest of the Duck Hunters. Up against the Duck Hunters, their mortal enemies, the Windwakers. First up, Joey Crewe is something more frightening than any horror game. Move over, Scissor Man, and Freddy Fazbear, for Joey Crewe is the dreaded teetotaler. While this is mainly scary to frat bros, wine moms, and fellow comedians who don't know any other way to socialize, believe me that they are all terrified. Joey, for those unaware in the audience, because we didn't get a lot of laughs with that, can you tell us what a teetotaler is?
So a teetotaler back in the day was a troll that you find across a bridge guarding it. And you have to solve a riddle, otherwise you can't cross it. But I believe the actual answer is somebody who doesn't drink at all and has never actually gotten drunk.
Like Trump.
Like Trump.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Great. I can't.
So you can still inject steroids and take a lot of Adderall. All right. Give it up for Joey, everybody. Next up among the Windwakers, when Sebastian D. Chow dies in the game, he dies in real life. Sebastian, what game are you talking about?
The game show. This game. This one.
The one we're playing right now.
Yeah, if I die, I die. I'll die in real life if I die right now.
That tracks. All right.
Yeah.
Give it up for Sebastian,
And
everybody.
only me. You guys are fine. You can die.
And last up among the Windwakers, Andy Wong spends most of his nights role-playing. What the fuck happened?
You exposed me. That's what happened. How did you know?
I didn't copy paste the rest of your bio somehow.
No,
It's a rare mistake.
I think what you did was you saw through it.
Do you want me to do the real one?
No, it's good. I like this one more.
All right.
It makes me sound so much more cool.
Hold on, I think you should roll a charisma check to see if you can get away with this shit.
I like Baldur's Gate and Mass Effect.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of Mass Effect, Andy, which Mass Effect is your favorite?
Well, the one that happens in my pants when I get to say, actually.
Yeah.
It's 3.
All right. Give it up for Andy and the rest of the Windwakers, everybody. And that is all for Meet the Contestants. We're going to move on to the next section of our game, which is called What the Hell is This? In What the Hell is This? We show our panelists a series of weird and wonderful images and ask them the eternal question, what the hell is this? All right. Are you guys ready for your first weird and wonderful image? Okay, panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this? Yes, Sebastian.
It's the sequel to Animal Farm. This time it's about capitalism.
Yeah, notice the pigs are all dead already. Yeah,
It's Animal Crossing, but on a PS5.
nice. That's what ray tracing gets you. Yeah.
This is your average Discord meetup.
This is Tom Nook and his corporate overlords.
Oh. You owe us some bells. It would be a shame if something happened to this nice house.
This is the group of individuals who run FurryCon posing for GQ. Never the fuck mine. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the criminal syndicate planning to steal your French fry.
Is there a seagull in there somewhere? No, just a pigeon. Yeah.
This is why the Atari Lynx failed. It was literally run by a bunch of animals and a lynx at the head.
Yeah, it couldn't compare to the Jaguar, right?
Oh, wait, never mind. When you said pigeon, I was like, that is clearly a hawk. But now I see the pigeon on the right-hand side. I take it back. I apologize. I will go
And that
now.
one is an owl. And that
name
one is a
animals.
chicken.
The
Lynx,
cow says.
Raccoon, doggy.
This is Dan's Baldur's Gate 3 party after he installed a bunch of mods.
Yeah.
This is Disney's live-action Zootopia before it got canceled.
Oh, God, they would probably do that, wouldn't they?
I don't know what the hell this is.
That's the idea.
I think that's the point.
This is one freaky funeral.
That raccoon is just waiting for a snack, speaking of a funeral. He's getting in there. All right, anyone else?
Painted nails.
Yeah, yeah. All raccoons have painted nails. You just can't see because their hands are already black. Yeah.
This is a catastrophe waiting to happen. If you don't stop me, I'm going to keep going.
No, please don't. Yeah, I'm going to honk. Well, one more.
This is just bad Photoshop.
All right, thank you. So this is from a visual novel called Chicken Police, which is set in an alternate world populated by anthropomorphic animals that are generally depicted as humans with animal heads. Players control Sonny Featherland, a burnt-out cop with the head of a rooster. Sonny was formerly a celebrated hero, but has become an alcoholic and is estranged from his former partner, Marty McChicken. After being approached by a distraught woman, Sonny reunites with Marty to solve one last case before his retirement, and then presumably dies, because that's the way that always goes. So check out Chicken Police. I had never heard of this one, so I'm looking forward to checking it out later. All right, are you guys ready for your next weird and wonderful image?
Oh, yeah.
Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this?
This is what Sebastian's in real life character looks like.
This is just clearly the opening to Mario 64. Like,
I didn't know there was a character creation in Mario 64. Oh, there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
wow, all of my okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
This is me like popping my zits in the mirror.
They're all on your lips for some reason. I don't think.
Hey, I don't question your lifestyle, okay?
Yeah, I don't think those are zits. Yeah.
Want to know how I got this smile? First, I used the pointer and grabbed my upper lip like this.
Yeah, Nikki.
I was just gonna say Paul Bundy, the video game, but
I thought for a second that you were saying Paul Bunyan, the video game. It's like, where's Babe the Blue Ox? I guess he was in the last one.
This is just a talking animation from The Sims 3.
Yeah.
Yo, isn't that Mark Zuckerberg's yearbook?
The one from Harvard or the one from, oh God, what was the name of the prep school he went to? Oh, well.
What?
He went to school?
I thought he emerged from an egg.
It was more of a cocoon.
No, but thanks to the advent of social media, a lot of people have emerged from their eggs.
the lack of gums is really bothering me.
Yeah.
No, there's no gums, guys. No.
What's
It's
weird?
called gingivitis, okay?
What's weirder is that, like, okay, we're doing the mouth manipulation, but his eyes were like that to start. What?
Yeah.
This is what happens when you don't have ray tracing, guys.
This is what happens when you ask AI to make you a headshot.
Hey. All right. I think that is enough of that. So secretly, I actually I had to make this clip because I couldn't find a good one. So the eyes were not like that, but I just made the clip a little shorter. Yeah. So this is
What were the rules about what images were shown?
This is a little clip of me playing Who's Lila, which is a point-and-click psychological horror adventure game released in 2022 by the Russian indie dev Garage Heathen. Described as a reverse detective adventure, the game is notable for using the manipulation of facial expressions as the means for the player to communicate with other characters in the game. This is actually a little tutorial that you do at the beginning. You have a reference sheet of expressions that the character needs to learn to like intentionally replicate in order to function as a normal human in society.
I love that we're saying it's psychological horror adventure.
Yeah.
Adventure, like, gives a sense of whimsy to things that psychological horror does not.
And you say you've played a Sierra game. What is more psychological horror than that?
So Nikki was right. This is a 10 buddy simulator.
10 buddy?
What?
10 buddy?
This is a picture of 10. This is a picture of my favorite serial killer, Tendy Buddy.
Dendy buddy. All right. We're going to move on to the next one. Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this? Yeah.
Childbirth simulator. Because he's so you know how babies are okay.
No, keep going.
Do we know where babies come from?
So yeah, so you know how there's how babies grow inside a sack,
Yes.
and then it's
a sack
excruciatingly.
might not be the word, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a scientist. Yeah, exactly. And it's very excruciatingly painful to push them out of your sack, which is what.
This man is going to be a father in under a month.
That's yep.
I would like
My baby is brewing in a sack right now.
This is Andy Wong.
I would like to point out that Nikki mentioned before the show that she had just learned what impreg is, and pushing a baby out of your sack is definitely something that happens in impreg.
Let's specify. It's not out the sack. It's out your butt.
That is the author's discretion. Thank you very much. We are not beholden to any scientific realism.
This game is actually called Uh-oh, the baby's in the ice cube.
It's one of those fancy ice cubes with little suspended things in it that you get for your bar.
So the point of the game is you're like, uh-oh, my baby's in an ice cube, and then you have to spend the rest of the game problem solving how to get him out of the ice cube without boiling him alive.
Oh. and you don't have a microwave with defrost mode.
Is this like that riddle where a guy like hangs himself and there's like just a pool of water and a baby on the ground? And like, it's because he stepped on the baby block. And
That was the inspiration, yes.
Yeah.
This is the future that Trump's America is trying to prevent.
Babies removed from the womb. That is correct.
No more
yeah.
Death Stranding baby removal.
Thank you for giving away what this is. Does anybody else have any comments on this one? Yeah.
I thought it was just a behind-the-scenes shot of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, that is the world's youngest zombie.
I wouldn't normally want this in real life, but I want him to spike that baby.
That is a crazy bong.
I would just say you can spike the baby because it's already in an ice cube, so you just need a mixer at that point.
You spike him by like a punch, like you put vodka in the thing.
Yeah.
It's actually one of those designer resin coffee tables. Ooh.
I think I saw this in a Facebook craft shaming group, actually.
This is me holding back my inner thoughts.
Yeah.
Is he doing an impression of the baby? Like, the baby's doing the same thing as him.
They are doing the same thing. They're both. He actually seems pumped, but the baby seems horrified.
There's a split.
Anyone else before I get? Yeah.
I think this is RimWorld fan art. No, just me.
No,
okay,
I
cool.
don't know RimWorld. I mean, it sounds like a place I would like to go, but
Where is this rim world you speak of?
RimWorld, for your information, is like The Sims, but you can harvest human organs.
oh,
And I've killed the vibe.
Well, that's depressing. I'll just stick to Steamworks like normal.
I was kind of hoping RimWorld would be like a moon around Uranus.
Steamworks, the game platform, or the gay sex club?
Both.
Sebastian, who again is not gay, knows the saunas of Toronto. Yeah.
Hey, honey, is this what you wanted from the store?
I asked for no pulp.
All right, I think we can end with no pulp. So, as who said? Sebastian said this is from Death Stranding, which is an action game developed by Hideo Kojima, and his first game after leaving Konami. It's set in a fictional United States following a cataclysmic event which caused destructive creatures to begin roaming the earth. And players control Sam Porter here, played by Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead, and now his own spin-off of The Walking Dead. And he's a courier tasked with delivering supplies to isolated places like that movie The Postman, except like 80 hours longer. And I just want to say, you guys have heard of Elf on a Shelf, but are you ready for Fetus on a Reedus?
Just what I wanted for Christmas.
All right. The fetus is actually called a bridge baby, which is shortened to BB, which is also how you get a bridge baby. Never mind. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this?
Get the loofah and we start to scour. Start slipping, I'm slipping and I cower. Look up, the dad is in ours.
Yes, Joey.
Is this a bathhouse in the 70s?
This is Steamworks
Yeah,
right now.
This is every modern bathhouse.
It's a very modern bathhouse.
I mean, yeah, the frogs, everything. It's all there.
Yeah.
This makes me happy that I upgraded to a 4K monitor.
Oh, look, they're doing the can-can.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in
Does this
this.
say whoa, dad at some point?
It says wrong dad.
Wrong, dad.
Wrong, Dad?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And honestly, when you're at the bathhouse, there is no wrong dad.
Everybody's daddy. I really like the way that they styled their pubic hair with pixels. I think that they did a great job of that.
Yeah.
I think it's neat how every dick is the same size, even the centaur.
It's the only one that flops, though. Do you notice that?
Actually, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
No, I feel like some of these other ones are flopping. I've been looking.
I think that horses have like prehensile penis a little bit, or elephants, something like that.
Prehensile?
Yeah, they can move it around.
But like that implies that they're picking shit up with it.
It could pick you up.
Hey, it could.
So I just want to take you to a place where instead of imagining that those little sparkles are water, which is, I know what the intention is, we're in a beautiful winter scene. Snow falls gently on the ground.
The penises
as the
will
men
be much
dance
smaller.
naked. The penises would be much smaller, yes.
This is just a recipe for hypothermia.
Was anyone thinking Nikki was going somewhere else with that?
I will say, if you go to Steamworks, you can get snow.
Very true.
Yeah.
Is this the new Prison Architect 2?
Yeah.
This is what happens after that animal heist that we saw earlier.
It's Oz, the animated series.
Oh.
Nobody remembers
Oh, yeah,
HBO's Oz?
HBO's Oz.
Wow. I'm shocked.
George Michael watched it, dressed up as the Tin Man. He was scarred for life. Not that George Michael. That George Michael probably would have liked it. Yes.
This is what Trump's America doesn't want you to see.
Yeah.
This game's called Find the Duck. Oh, I found the duck.
Is this the Freddie Mercury mobile game?
Oh.
You see him, right? In the bottom right corner in between the two guys? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You got Freddie Mercury out of this Pixel Man?
I don't think that's a mustache. I think that's his mouth, but
Could be a mustache.
I guess it could be. I guess they could all have mustaches and no mouths.
He's shaving. He's shaving in the bottom.
I have no mouth, but I must scream. Yeah, yeah.
Wait, what?
I feel like it would be. I feel like in a group shower area, it would be bad manners to like shave, because it's like your hair's getting on people's feet.
It depends on what you're shaving.
Okay.
Is this the after party for us after the show's done?
Yes.
Yes, the cheat
No
code
joke.
is working.
Oh my God, I wasn't invited.
No, you're the one in the
No,
duck
you're the duck,
costume.
yeah.
I'm the duck with a cock. Okay, got it.
No one said you can't wear a prosthetic. Speaking of prosthetics and speaking of the centaur, did you guys know, and I learned this at the Museum of Sex in Hollywood, that the most popular dildo sold in Germany is a life-size replica of a horse penis?
Must be expensive.
I didn't know that, but I appreciate
Do they
the
drink
knowledge.
beer from it?
Do they drink beer from it?
Yeah, it's Das. Das Boot. It's like Das Cock.
Yeah.
Das Cock.
Das Cock.
Das Cock. Yeah.
That if it was Das Cock, then it would be neuter, grammatical gender. Never mind.
I have a
How many languages do you speak?
He pretends to speak 5.
That's correct.
Sorry, that came out too quickly. I have a genuine question.
Yeah.
What is the wiggly red thing that kind of looks like ghosts but could also be intestines on the top right-hand side?
It's like monkeys, like the monkeys in barrel thing, maybe.
I don't know.
That
They
what-
seem
I
like
see,
some kind of
wiggly
eldritch horror to
intestine
me.
Ghost things.
That's a squid.
If I was a betting man, that'd be the thing from the thing.
Oh, wow. So life really is what you make of it. you
Yeah.
know? We all have different opinions.
I don't know. What is this?
All right. This is from the trailer of Shower with Your Dad Simulator 2015. The subtitle is Do You Still Shower with Your Dad? And Shower with Your Dad Simulator is a fast-paced shower simulation where you shower with your 8-bit dad.
It's so fast-paced.
It is quite fast-paced, actually. The gameplay is that so all of the dads have matching sons, and you play as the son, and you have to choose between many dads in the shower area. And so if you run to the wrong one, you get that wrong dad notification like that kid got right now. So you can play Shower with Your Dad Simulator.
No one's using shampoo or soap.
No, they're just canning it up.
Yeah. Soap and shampoo require 16 bits. So, yeah. All right. We're gonna.
Follow-up question. How did
Yeah.
you find this?
How did I find?
Did you just like Google like, I want to find a game where
This
you
game
shower?
was very popular for a while.
It's not an unpopular game.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
This game was pretty popular. All right. We're gonna move on to the next one, panelists. What the hell is this?
It's the son of Norman Reedus.
Off the horn.
Daddy, did you bring Milky? That's also from Shower with Your Dad Simulator.
Why would Dad have the milk?
I don't think you get the idea of what happens in the bathhouse.
You just have to milk your dad. That's how you get the milk.
Yeah.
This is a baby. This is what Republicans are trying to say.
Babies have thumbs too, okay?
Thumbs.
What?
Thumbs? Is that what you said?
That's everyone knows the thumb is the
gums,
gay
if you're going to
digit.
take advantage of anything.
What?
So the Milk Council of Canada used to have the milk mustaches. They moved on to this to be more edgy in the year 2024. Their campaign has failed miserably.
Yeah.
This is what they were playing up in this.
It didn't even ring. It didn't even ring.
This is what they played up in the space station, right?
Yes. You needed a special peripheral.
It was Nikki's N64 Rumble packs he had to bring.
Yeah. I like that they're Nikki's N64 Rumble packs now. Not the mom of the kid with the Wiimotes. Yeah. Yep.
This is what the Lila guy saw in the mirror.
Yeah, this is his natural expression. All right. Well, this wasn't as fertile as I had hoped, unlike showering with your dad. So this is a screenshot from a game called, speaking of Canadiana, Milk Inside a Bag of Milk Inside a Bag of Milk, which is... It's not a depression game. It is a psychosis game. It's a 2020 psychological horror visual novel developed by a Russian game developer called Nikita Kryukov. And the game centers around an unnamed female protagonist who has to visit a nearby grocery store to purchase a bag of milk. But she's troubled with the challenges of suffering from severe trauma and psychosis.
This is going to sound fucked up. I actually have this on my wish list on Steam.
Oh, it's really good. The sequel is also really good. Yeah, it's very short. It's fun. It's good. I wouldn't say fun, but it's good.
Does she get the milk?
She can get the milk.
I think she killed her.
That's why it's
Like
a game.
it's a game. Yeah.
It's a game.
Getting the milk
can
is the
fail.
goal. All right. Thanks everybody. That was it for What the Hell Is This? We're going to move on to the next section of our game, which is another pop quiz. The first question, the category is Farming Sim. Following a recent patch, Farming Simulator Stardew Valley now allows players to restore their health and energy by engaging in what? Disgusting, nauseating, and utterly repellent act. Yes, Keegan.
Voting for Donald Trump, and I hate how many people did it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Pelican Town is solidly blue, but Shane and Sebastian, 100% Trumpers, right?
For sure. Kent and Pam, too. Pam, bitch name.
Actually, Pam wrote in Doug Ford because she's a single issue voter, and that issue is Buck a Beer. So
I feel like the mayor secretly voted Trump for his financial reasons.
Oh yeah. The mayor was at the January 6th riots. Actually, nobody liked that one. Okay.
Yeah, this is going to be nice and fluid going into my comment.
Yep.
It's eating a Mr. Beast Lunchly kit. The mold only kills 2 out of every 7 children. Those are good odds.
Those are good odds. And honestly, a high child mortality rate kind of strengthens character. Look what it did for the Victorians.
Yeah, I'd prefer a 2 in 7 chance to be a mischievous Victorian ghost child than the other option, which is just having a child that has to work a 16-hour shift at the mill.
Yeah, it does sound more fun.
I think you can mod that to be an item that you get at the Joja Mart. Okay, I'm the only one that played it. Okay, cool.
No.
We all played it. Don't give
Oh, the
excuses.
Mr. Beast Lunchly kit. For some reason, I thought I was still in Bag of Milk land. I was like, no. Pelican Town is definitely not in Canada. Yep.
You can restore your energy by getting a little blowjob from that shadow creature in the sewers. You end up paying for it the next day when you shit out a void egg, like a kidney stone.
Yeah. On the bright side, I'm pretty sure that Krobus has no teeth, so potentially still worth it.
Fine. Yeah. I mean, is it sharp? Is the egg sharp?
The egg? No, it's an egg. So it's smooth.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're worth selling. Like
They're
not even
big.
good.
And actually, it's
They're
Krobus's favorite gift. So you can just give it right back to him and up your friendship.
We made this together.
Yeah. You can also give it to Sebastian. It's one of his favorite gifts. Even though he's a trumper, he is also pretty hot and the one I always pick.
You know, as another Sebastian who played this video game in like a basement, and
Yeah.
I saw that Sebastian was wearing a black hoodie in a basement playing video games, and he like never left. And I felt personally insulted as another Sebastian who's doing that same shit.
Yeah.
And he has no friends because he never leaves. And I was like, oh no, they're insulting me directly in the video game.
I do have a question for you as a Sebastian.
What?
If I give you enough turnips, will you fuck me?
Unfortunately, not.
Oh, okay.
That's
What
on my
about
that's on my
strawberries?
hate list.
Oh, okay. Now, Sebastian likes. Okay, never mind. Thank you, guys. Anybody else for utterly repellent acts in Stardew Valley?
Yeah, eating Mario's special homegrown cheese straight from the source. I'll let you think about that.
Yeah, I thought we established that Mario was cut.
After naming your character Luigi.
Right.
It's gotten so abstract.
Yeah.
Testing on animals.
Yay! You can't slaughter you have to do a mod to slaughter your
No,
farm
you don't
animals
slaughter
in Stardew.
them. That's what makes
No,
it
no,
so
no,
cruel. You keep them alive and torture them with makeup products.
You keep their eyes open like in A Clockwork Orange, and just keep putting shampoo. Yeah, it's very sad. This is much less funny than the Challenger explosion. Sorry. Yeah.
Do you got to go to open mic?
Get to?
Could you imagine? Could you imagine the open mic in Pelican Town with the fucking villagers?
You'd have to run it and stay there for the whole show.
The only one there is Shane. Shane is the type
Shane
to
just
be
talking
an
about
open
his
micer.
depression on stage. He is depressed. That's his thing. And it's his third event or something.
Let me tell you guys about my fucking job at the Jojamar.
Pam's the one person at the bar who didn't know there was a show and is drinking and heckling you the whole time.
She heckles. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she definitely heckles.
Say it. Do it. Coward.
Yeah.
Say it.
It's Deb Bushman.
Actually, kinda, yeah. Like if you were to do pixel art of her, that's what it would look like. All right. Is that it? Okay, thanks guys. Thanks guys. The correct answer is drinking mayonnaise. You
Yeah.
can just eat a jar of mayonnaise.
That's repellent.
You said it like a question. That's repellent?
Nikki just gets those bottles of Japanese Kewpie mayonnaise and squirts it in her mouth like you do with canned
Sitting on my
whipped
Rumble
cream.
Packs. Oh, baby. That's a terrible image.
Somebody's gonna like it.
But the MSG in the mayonnaise, that's what makes it.
Cover of her OnlyFans page.
All right. We're going to move on. The next question, the category is Insert Credit. What well-known recording artist contributed music to a popular video game only to have their name ultimately removed from that game's credits? Yes. Keegan, yeah.
Dolly Parton originally wrote Lara Croft's theme for Tomb Raider, but it ended up being a giant bust.
Yes, Nikki.
Actually, it was Smash Mouth who wrote all the music for Tomb Raider. Everyone knows the original lyrics were, somebody once debated that all tombs should be raided.
Please tell me you have another line. Oh, okay.
I have the biggest bust in the biz.
Keep going. One more verse. One more verse. One more verse.
Stretch those
I-
improv muscles.
The problem is I don't know enough about Tomb Raider. I'm Angelina Jolie. Can't you see that I am cast something? I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know enough about Tomb Raider. I tried. Something Angelina Jolie
Thank
and then
you.
Folly. There you go.
Thank you for the try. But in fact, Smash Mouth were originally hired to write the music for Punch Out, but people thought that was a little on the nose. Yes, Joey.
P. Diddy was going to have a song in Mario Party until they realized what kind of parties he was throwing.
Yeah. Speaking of Diddy, they did consider adding baby oil as an item in Mario Kart, but it made it too easy to slip through the dry ruins.
Well, I guess that explains how it got ruined in the first place.
Yeah, not enough baby oil. All right, never mind. We can cut that. I thought that was funny. Anyone else for famous musicians? Going once. Going twice. Sold to Dolly Parton and her millions of dollars that she gives to children. Dolly Parton's really cool. All right. So the correct answer is Michael Jackson apparently wrote music for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. There's no official explanation for why his name was removed from the credits, but his participation was confirmed by other people who worked on the game. It did come out around the same time as the allegations started surfacing, so that might be why. I think that's also why his name got taken out of that Simpsons episode that he was a guest voice in.
Oh no, no, he never wanted his name.
Oh, he never wanted his name associated with
Yeah.
The Simpsons? Was it past season 9?
No, it was because he actually wanted to keep it a secret. He was a
Oh.
big fan of the show, and he actually contacted Matt Groening personally, and asked if he could write for the show.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
Can I just say?
Yeah.
So, if any game franchise has to be associated with a sex pervert, it should be Sonic, right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely. All right. We're going to move on to the next one. The category is not that kind of role playing. Andy. In Baldur's Gate 3, aside from sleeping with your humanoid party members, what other sexual exploits can you perform? Yes.
Me.
Keegan.
A Cleveland steamer.
I have to correct you there. In D&D, a Cleveland steamer is actually called an abyssal steamer because the abyssal plane, much like Cleveland, has rivers that frequently catch on fire.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I get it.
Hey, so
Cleveland
what would you
rocks.
call the strawberry shortcake in that game?
A strawberry shortcake?
Yeah, it's when you come on a girl's face and then you punch them so that their nose bleeds.
Did you run that one by first?
Does it have to be a girl's face?
It can be.
What about a child? Can we run a child? Try a child.
Punch us. Do we not bleed?
Domestic violence
Into
for
the
equality.
cum on our face? Yes, you can do that. It does 1d4 bludgeon damage. And the target has to roll a saving throw versus finding out they're actually kind of into it.
She was looking kind of hot, Tomb Raided or not, but it's really about her body.
Hey, very good. Very good. All right. Yes, anyone else for this one?
Yeah. By the way, that last answer was sponsored by Punch Hone. Tyson's. From what I understand, if you're playing as a wizard, you can cast Mage Hand to play with your staff, and it feels like someone else is doing it.
Yeah. That is actually the somatic component of Magic Missile, but you should really only do it in Mordenkainen's private sanctum, not subject everybody else to it. Yeah, Joey?
The most sexual act of all, projecting your dream maiden on the local tavern wench.
I'm pretty sure the most sexual act of all is carrying around a living fetus in a sack. I guess it is an amniotic sac. Yeah. Go ahead.
You can fuck a gate.
You can fuck a gate. Only if you have enough baby oil.
You can fuck a goat. Is that just more tea things?
Baldur's Gate,
What?
guys.
It is. It
She
is.
wants to fuck the gate, okay?
If
Jeez.
Baldur doesn't want the back gate fucked, he shouldn't leave it open like that.
It's clearly the third time his gate's been fucked.
And then you can only do it once per short rest.
Well, more like balls slurp gate.
Be here all night.
And then from there started the Gate Fucker trilogy.
Gate fuck simulator. You don't want to get to the sequel where they reach Heaven's Gate, though. Go ahead.
Having a good old fashioned orgy. That's an orgy.
Orgy. Yeah, good one. Good one.
That sounded like a racial slur towards people from Brampton. Just walking around. Hey man, what's going on, Orc Jeet?
Jeez. All right. Anybody else for sexual exploits in Baldur's Gate? Literally in Baldur's Gate. Okay. So apparently you can have sex with a bear, the animal kind, but not the chicken police kind. Or maybe the chicken police kind, I don't know. And a squid monster, which is maybe the one that we saw in Shower with Your Dad Simulator. There's a lot of crossover going on here. Okay, we're going to move on to the next one. Category is Band of Brothers. In the SNES classic Earthbound, Ness and friends regularly encounter a 6-man band called the Runaway Five, who engage in various hijinks while traveling around on their tour bus. What real-life group were they based on? Yes, Keegan.
Hanson. Those lovable teens were everywhere in the 90s.
Yeah. I have to admit that Taylor Hanson circa 1997 definitely made me bop.
You were a Taylor man?
I was a Taylor man. I was Tim the Tool Man Taylor
Whoa,
man.
all right.
No JTT for me. Yeah.
The group of 7.
The group of 7, like the landscape painters, or like the G8 now that Russia's been kicked out?
The first one.
The first one? Okay. Sorry, the answer we were looking for is the Bilderberg Group. All right. Nobody likes that. That's fine. Go ahead, Joey.
Was it Hootie and the Blowbacks?
No. Yeah.
Huey Lewis and the Nude?
Also no. Yep.
The Frank's Red Hot Chili Peppers?
No.
One Erection?
Road Headley?
If you're talking about Harry Styles, it's apparently more like 8.5, but Liam Payne was closer to 6 stories. So, oh, poor Liam.
They're based on the Manson family, right?
Yeah, that's why the main one has the swastika tattoo on his forehead, which they couldn't. They had to take it out for the German edition.
They just reversed it and pretended they're Buddhist.
Yeah. Go ahead, Nikki.
So it's not a group. It's actually just like 5 versions of Snoop Dogg at various stages of his life. So it includes the Martha years.
Yeah.
5 different Snoops.
Yep.
It's a Scooby gang.
It's a Scooby gang.
It's a Scooby gang.
It's a Snoop.
If they win, they
Snoop,
tear off Ness's face.
You
and
can't say
there's another guy in
Snoopy
there.
gang, because then that's just the Peanuts.
Did you say the
Peanuts.
Snoopy gang?
Yeah, because Scooby
you know what?
Gang with Snoop Dogg would be the Snoopy Gang, but then it's
You know why it's not? Because you said Peanuts, which is what it's called. Everyone knows when you said Peanuts, but no one calls it Snoopy Gang.
but Peanuts are the Snoopy Gang.
What are you talking about?
Like they have the bandanas.
I want to say that I said an entirely different cartoon.
Yeah, but they're called Peanuts. Like that's the name. That's what they're not called. The Snoopy Gang. They're called Peanuts.
All right.
Anyone else see this illogical fallacy going on here?
This is the first time someone said something
To be
illogical on
fair,
the show. and
the
we must stand
Scooby
against
Gang
it.
aren't the Scooby Gang. They're technically Mystery Incorporated.
I wasn't arguing that part.
All right. Anyone else for the Runaway Five? Okay. So the Runaway Five were actually based on the Blues Brothers. In the North American release, Nintendo had to change some stuff, actually. They changed their name from the Tonzura Brothers, which means the Runaway Brothers. And they changed their outfits from all black suits to various colors to avoid presumably potential copyright issues, because I guess Dan Aykroyd is litigious. I don't know.
Gotta make that Crystal Head vodka somehow, you know? You can't just be mining Crystal Heads unless you're Indiana Jones. We all saw that one.
There actually was a Blues Brothers game for the SNES, and it's actually kind of fun if you're looking for something to do. All right. We're going to move on to the next one, which doesn't have a category because I forgot to write it. We're going to move on to the next one, which has this very funny category that will be in the final show. All right. The question is, in a recent leak from the Pokemon Company, it was revealed that Gen 3 starter Mudkip was actually a completely different creature in the initial concept phase. What did Mudkip's original design look like? Yes, Keegan.
Mudkip was originally going to be the first half-human, half-Pokemon hybrid produced by Professor Oak's questionable breeding experiments.
Yeah. I will say it wasn't actually the first. Why do you think Gary Oak has a grandfather but no parents? There's actually a lot of unofficial supplementary material about Ash's attempts to like subject him to further back breeding, but I've got some on my phone if you're interested in seeing that.
Obviously interested. And I do feel the need to point out that breeding is like such a thing in Pokemon, and I'm like, we're gay right out the gate with Pokemon. I love it.
Yeah. Joey.
Was it a starfish that looked suspiciously like a swastika?
Yes, it was on the forehead of one of the Runaway Five.
Sorry, Buddhist symbol.
Yeah. No, you're closer, though. It was actually more like a pink starfish that later evolves into sort of a frosted strawberry donut. And then its final form is like kind of a droopy red rose, but only if you find the right item to use on it. Sorry, I'm thinking of Gary Oak again. Yes, Nikki.
JD Vance.
Yeah. They were going to call it Guy Liner, but they had to scrap the design because evolution is not really big with his base, unfortunately.
You can breed him with a couch, though.
That's true. You can breed him with Mud Couch.
Were they trying to bring back another blackface Pokemon? You know, like Jinx, but like this one, Water Jinx.
Like Jumpman Jim Crow, but a Pokemon?
Yeah, that's the mud. In the mud, it's like they spear mud all over it, like an actual just guy's face, and then that's the Pokemon.
Would the guy's face be Justin Trudeau?
Yes. Yeah, for topical reference, yes.
Yeah.
For a 4-year-old
topical reference.
Yes. That was Justin Trudeau, the premier of Ontario.
Yeah.
Not Ontario. That's not even what he is.
Ontario.
Yeah, Andy.
Also synonymous with Canada. Gen 3 means Gen Alpha. So Mudkip looked like a TikTok trend.
Which one?
Skibbity toilet.
Skibbity toilet,
Yeah.
obviously, yeah.
Yeah. Or
Now, I haven't seen Skibbity Toilet, but I don't think there's water in there. I think it's just a dry toilet and the guy's head's coming out.
Do you take a skibbity in the toilet? I'm old.
It comes out. It comes out of the toilet.
yeah, it comes out of the toilet.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they try to take over the world. No, their
Maybe-
heads.
It's
Their
a
heads
guy?
coming out of the toilet.
Maybe the skibbity is the friends we made along the way.
Yeah.
I'll accept that.
Yeah. But if it gets enough Riz, then it's ripe for backbreeding.
And we're back to breeding.
Yeah.
Can I say, I preferred the part of the show that was like just gay, and instead of the Skibbity jokes.
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah. I don't think any of us know what the Skibbity Toilet is.
I've watched a lot of Skibbity Toilet. Actually, I watched it for
What?
research on a different episode. One of the con episodes. I think one of the Fan Expo episodes. There's a Skibbity Toilet. What the hell is this? Yeah.
Okay, but like you can see subtly my cheat code is working because the straights are wishing it was gayer.
Yeah.
It's working.
Yep. More backbreeding. Let's go. All right. Anybody else for original Mudkip designs? Okay. So I will show you guys. So on the left here we have Mudkip as he is known to us today. Yes, quite cute. And on the right we have the original design, which is called Warabito, which is a portmanteau of warabi, which is bracken like seaweed, and rabbit. And Mudkip's Japanese name is Mizugoro, which is a portmanteau of water and mud skipper, which is what he kind of looks like. Anyway, I gotta say, I like Warabito. I think he's cute.
Well, it's a score bunny, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a wet score bunny, sure. It's pretty close.
What's a score bunny?
It's a fire. It's a fire version of that.
It's a sad bunny because it wants to swim but can't swim. That's a score bunny?
But score bunny turns into a soccer player.
Is the life preserver part of it?
Yeah, that's its tail.
What?
The tail wrapped around it.
That was the right call.
That's enough. Yeah, that's enough Pokemon shit. All right, thanks, guys. That is it for the last pop quiz. Please give your panelists a hand. And we are going to move on to the next section of our show, which is called Not Bloody Likely. In Not Bloody Likely, we give our panelists a series of unlikely situations, and they give you an idea of what might happen. We're going to take just a quick moment to reset the stage. Thank you, Rob, for your help. All right, are you guys ready for your first unlikely situation? Unexpected announcements at Nintendo Direct.
We're having a sale.
Mario is circumcised.
That was very This Is Sparta. Who were not circumcised, by the way, in case you were curious.
Mario Kart 9, you play exclusively as the Koopa shell. Rated R for revenge.
Aw.
Kirby is finally on Ozempic.
We're coming up with a new IP. Just me. Okay.
It's The Legend of Zelda. Buddy's got a new hat.
Hooray!
Donkey Kong Country, now with Fallout. Donkey Kong never changes.
Except when he's Brutus from Popeye the Sailor.
Donkey Kong Country, but no Diddy.
Oh. Donkey Kong, now Diddy free. I'll do one. We've decided to respect our customers.
Tetris, now with 100% less communist music.
We heard your complaints on the eShop. We're getting rid of all the porn games.
We're making another Princess Peach game, but don't worry, she'll still cry as a superpower in this one.
I thought they were getting rid of all the porn games.
Nikki, don't worry. We're bringing the Rumble Packs back to you.
We're remaking a classic game from our series, and we're not just switching the male and female character.
Ooh,
Zelda.
Persona 3 Portable. At least you can fuck the boys in Persona 3 Portable.
Legend of Link. Play as Zelda and help Link's memory loss. We're addressing it. Rated E for Everyone Gets Old.
Oh.
It's the franchise amalgamation you've all been waiting for. We finally partnered up with Stanley Cups. What does it entail yet? We don't fucking know, but you're gonna play them.
They have a branded Stanley Cup with every Pokemon on it, except for original Mudkip.
Our new Joy-Cons won't have controller drift.
Oh, that's never going to happen. You like a challenge.
Get ready to get sucked off. Metroids are back.
I thought that was going to be a Kirby. All right, I think that's probably enough of this one. Minasan arigato. All right. Sim games that got too real.
Somebody let me out of the pool. There's no ladder. Somebody let me out of the pool.
Sebastian can't climb the 6 inches.
Nikki crying at the office. The game.
Aww.
Sim version of The View, but you have to play as the one conservative co-host.
That's a psychological horror game.
Nikki crying at the office. Kitchen edition.
Aww.
Nikki crying at the office too, as per my last email.
Nikki crying at the office. Bathroom edition. Change your shoes so they don't know it was you.
Nikki at the office, wishing my boss was Kermit the Frog Simulator 4.
Nikki crying at the office, developer simulator.
Nikki at the office, untitled crying game. There's a big transphobic surprise at the end.
Nikki crying at the office because she can't shower with her dad simulator.
Nikki showers with her dad to disguise the tears. All right. Are we done with that? Okay, one more.
Nikki at the office, now compatible with Rumble Packs.
Nikki crying because the Joy-Cons don't feel the same as the Rumble Pack.
Too much drift.
Nikki crying at the office. Somebody once told me this job is gonna kill me.
Nikki at the Office Video Game Tycoon because she made so much money with all the Nikki Crying at the Office series.
All right, thank you. Nikki Crying at the Office Simulator, now on Steam Greenlight. All right, moving on to the next one. Failed pitches for video game movies.
What if we made a movie where Nikki was crying in her office?
I don't know if we can cut down the 50 hours of plot into a 90-minute movie.
Shower with Your Dad Simulator, the extended edition.
I've seen that one.
What if we made a good movie?
Okay, you see, what if we made Minecraft into... Oh, no, they're already making it? Okay.
Disney does realistic Minecraft. It's just those Chilean miners.
But what if we did like Angry Birds with... Oh, they already did it.
We could do a movie about the... Oh, fuck.
Tetris, but it's just footage of 9/11.
It's that version of Tetris where it has like two side by side for multiplayer.
Yeah. But that still doesn't explain Tower 7.
It's the bonus level.
Yeah, okay, never mind. All right, I think that's enough of those. Let's move on. Let's move on to rejected rhythm games.
Shower with Your Dad Simulator?
You do have to keep up a vigorous lather.
Nikki Crying at the Office, tap to the beat.
They're just the taps of the tears falling on the desk.
Shake Weight, now with music DLC.
Sit in, non-violent oh, fuck. Sit in, non-violent revolution.
Dance Apartheid?
Swiping dating app to the beat. Dun, 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 dun.
Isn't that just Nikki crying in
All right, thank you guys. I guess I'll do one before we go. Triangle Hero. I think that would be fun. All right. Dating sims too weird even for dating sim fans.
Who wants a Nikki one?
He beat me to it already. I was just going to say, taking Nikki out after Nikki Crying at the Office.
Going out with an actual woman simulator.
Ooh.
This game's called I Have an Island.
It's a thinker.
What is it?
Yes, it is.
We're on dating now. This new pedophile.
Showering with Your Dad too, after you found your dad.
The Smurfs Expanded Universe. The Curse of the Blue Balls.
Ooh.
Jeffrey Dahmer Simulator. You can play as him. You can play as whoever you want.
No, I just love the questioning aspect. Like you would play somebody else in Jeffrey Dahmer Simulator.
You want to run away?
Like you're the guy he kills.
Maybe you want to be chased.
A barrel. It could be anything.
Love on the Spectrum, the video game. Okay.
That is already all dating sims. All right.
You want them so thoughtfully.
All right, I think that's enough of those two. All right, thanks everybody. That was it for Not Bloody Likely, and we're going to move on to the last section of our game, which is called Debate Club. In Debate Club, our panelists debate important issues of the day, and you, the audience, get to decide who wins. Our first question, arguing the question, which is the superior hedgehog? Arguing for old school Sonic is Nikki Ashworth, and arguing for new school Sonic is Joey Crewe. I didn't know Sonic went to the new school. Did he like New York? Yeah. All right, Nikki, you have 1 minute, starting right now.
The year was 1991. The commercial blared an impressive 16-bit graphic and a rap about how going fast is cool, going slow is not. Super Mario went as fast as a pipe clogged with shit. I had just turned 9 and I received the gift of Sonic speed. I would soon beat Sonic 1, 2, and speedrun Sonic 3. Sonic was a sassy hedgehog with attitude, and Tails existed. We were told Knuckles was an echidna, and whatever the fuck that was, it didn't matter. We ate it up. New School Sonic includes a feature film that was delayed due to having to reanimate him without creepy human baby teeth and beady dead eyes and an insurgence of sloppy, soulless AI-generated porn. Nothing in the Sonic universe can overtake the excitement of his first debut. I know, for I was there.
All right. Thank you, Nikki. Not seeing enough of the soulful Sonic AI porn. All right, Joey, you have 1 minute.
I love
starting
how that,
right now.
I love how that sounded, but like breaking news, by the way. All right, so you want to know why new school modern Sonic is better? Longevity. Without modern Sonic trojaning a struggling Sega in the early 2000s and arguably the early 2010s as well, they would not have survived for us to see the god-awful fandom flourish online, or see the movies resurrect Jim Carrey every time he says he's done acting. Classic Sonic came out dick slinging right away and got scared when the world wanted him to do more. He was a fad, like Bartmania, Pogs, or overalls with one buckle undone. Only really older millennials clinging on to their youth would ever vouch for him. That felt to me.
All right, thank you, Joey. You said Sonic is a fad, right? With a D. Okay, because that's I've read other stuff. Go ahead, Nikki. You have 30 seconds to respond, starting right now.
Okay, back to the AI porn. In the good old days, there was slash fic and deviant art created by imaginative beating heart humans with a lust for blue-hedged dick who wanted to see Dr. Robotnik getting railed by Sonic. Why do you think Sonic collected all those rings? They were for his cock, and he literally melted through them by going real fast. Old school Sonic brought joy, and for some, creative sexual exploration. New school Sonic just made Jim Carrey an additional $12 million and counting.
All right, thank you.
Genesis did what Nintendo don't, and that's splitting a fan base in half because their games changed way too much. You know what? I gotta say, Nikki's got a point. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Joey. All right. Now you, the audience, get to decide. Do you agree with Nikki Ashworth that old school Sonic is superior? Although I think echidnas have like weird penises, don't they? So maybe he can't use the cock rings. Or do you agree? Or do you agree with Joey Crewe that new school Sonic is better? All right. Congratulations, Nikki, you win. That is a point for whatever team you're on.
Duck Hunters.
The Duck Hunters, thank you. Up next, arguing the proposition, esports are still sports. Arguing in favor is DK Phan. Arguing against is Sebastian D. Chow. DK, you have 1 minute starting right now.
Esports are sports. They have all the qualities of a normal sport. You have teams. It's an even playing ground. You have to practice with each other. You don't need to be athletic to be involved with sports. There's plenty of sports that don't require any athleticism, like golf. That's not a real sport. That's just a bunch of fat guys running around on carts, hitting a ball, and then chasing it with a cart. Darts, that's considered a sport on TSN. That's something you can play drunk. You can play that sport drunk. People hunt for sport. That's kind of fucked up if you think about it, right? Like you have a gun and you shoot a bear that doesn't have the intelligence to know what a gun is, right? By that logic, going to a preschool with a baseball bat and just swinging at babies could be considered sport, right? Especially if you're the IDF. Just, like this. So if that's the case, esports and League of Legends, very much sports.
All right, cool. Thank you, TK. Arguing against the proposition that esports are sports is Sebastian D. Chow. Sebastian, you have a minute starting right now.
What makes a sport? Is it chasing a ball around? Is it points going up? Is it having a contest with one other man to the point of a homoeroticism? Is it just about the point going up? Is coin flipping a sport according to you? Something isn't a sport just because you have a point system, because you play something, because you are there. You being there doesn't mean that you did a sport.
Did a sport.
Sports require you to actually be there doing something. And if you're just flipping switches, we can go flip the lights on and off and see who wins that contest. That's a sport.
All right. For the listeners at home, the lights were just flickered on and off.
Rob won.
Rob
Listen.
won.
Flipping the switch on and off is actually a Japanese sport, okay? They have competitive rock, paper, scissors. I'm pretty sure they have competitive light switching. Boom, baby. Oh, I had a point to this shit. What was it? Fuck, what was that point? There was something I was going to say, but I can't remember it. You know what? Sports are just a concept. They don't really exist. You can make anything a sport if you want comedy. Could be a sport. Like we could get up here and we could fight each other in a roast battle. That would be a sport. There's no athleticism. Most sports, by the way, are watched by fat white guys who think they know better than the people actually playing the sport. The same goes for esports. Most of the audience is the same thing. Just fat white guys who think they can do better than the sports athletes, esports or otherwise.
All right. Thank you, DK. Sebastian, you have 30 seconds in the last word.
My opponent contradicts himself. He claims that golf is not a sport, but Mario Golf is. What the fuck? he's arguing my point. That's it. He's done.
All right. And now you, the audience, get to decide. Do you agree with DK Phan that esports are indeed sports? Because you're there and you're doing something. Or do you agree with Sebastian D. Chow that esports are not sports? It's just like flicking a switch or a hot dog eating contest or any of these other things. Yeah. All right. Congratulations, Sebastian and the Windwakers. That's a point for you guys. And lastly. Our last proposition, Pokemon needs to stop making new Pokemon. Arguing in favor of enough already is Andy Wong. Arguing in favor of keep cranking them out, baby, is Keegan Hawkeswood. Andy, you have 1 minute, starting right now.
Listen, guys, long ago, Pokemon has already ran out of ideas for good Pokemon. And I have an example. You know what it is? Garbodor. They're giving you straight garbage at this point. He's a garbage Pokemon. He's a literal garbage Pokemon. Everything is sentient. This is crazy. It's like you take acid, you look in the room, you're like, what isn't a Pokemon already? Do you know how terrifying that makes it for a kid? They're sleeping in beds. They're confused. Is my bed a Pokemon? Oh my God. They don't want to sleep on a living thing. That's crazy. And you want to catch them all? It's impossible now. That's like climbing a corporate ladder. There's a reason why Ash is still out there. They promised him a CEO job. They're never going to give it to him. They're never going to do it. And I'm going to finish on this. You know how long the Poke Rap is now? Do you know how long the Poke Rap is now? It's 1 hour, okay.
Wow, all right. Thank you. Thank you, Andy. Keegan, you have 1 minute, starting right now.
Okay, first of all, the Poke Rap, let's talk about it. Articuno Jinx, Nidorina, Beedrill, Haunter, Squirtle, Chansey? You're gonna diss the Pokemon? Oh, you had to jump all the way to like Gen 4 or 5 to be like, Pokemon was bad, they make weird things. Literally, in Gen 1, there's a pile of cum, and you're like, oh, Gen 5, they made trash alive. You know what? No, we need more Pokemon. There are over 1,000 Pokemon now. It's true. But guess what? They just invented the first dolphin Pokemon, and it took them 1,000 to get there. Think of all the other things that they could invent that we haven't seen as Pokemon yet. We could have a Pokemon vacuum cleaner. We could have a Pokemon bottle of lube. We could have a Pokemon projector. Like, everything can be a Pokemon. So why would we stop where we stopped a long time ago? No, it doesn't make any sense. We got to keep cranking them out. We need them to sell merchandise and to enjoy our lives. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Keegan. Andy, you have 30 seconds to respond.
I think you made my point. There's already a vacuum cleaner Pokemon. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Also, if we're going to talk about merchandising, there is one proven method for merchandising, and then that is rebranding everything you've already done. The Marvel Universe has proved it. It works. I want Pikachu V10. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Andy. I have to deduct a point because apparently there is not a vacuum cleaner Pokemon.
There is not.
All right. Keegan, you have 30 seconds. And the last word. If you have a washing machine Pokemon, can your stepbrother get stuck in it? Never mind. Let's go. 30 seconds.
I think that there's no reason to stop the Pokemon franchise from continuing to grow and make billions and billions of dollars for someone that isn't me. We love them all. We want to catch them all. Yes, there is not a vacuum cleaner Pokemon, despite what my opponent tells you. He's a liar. He's not to be trusted. And so you shouldn't trust his opinion trying to cancel poor Pokemon. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Keegan. Andy pulling the J.D. Vance move of thinking we weren't going to fact check him while he's on the debate stage. I do have a question for you, Keegan, before we get to the voting, which is, if there is a pile of cum Pokemon, is there a bloody nose Pokemon? And can you breed them together for a strawberry shortcake?
I mean, probably.
All right.
To be
Excellent.
honest.
That's a whole other franchise, Dan.
And now you, the audience, get to decide. Do you agree with Andy Wong that Pokemon needs to stop making new Pokemon? They're out of ideas. You're tired, Pokemon. Or do you agree with Keegan Hawkeswood that Pokemon needs to keep making new Pokemon until we get a vacuum cleaner at the very least? All right. Congratulations, Keegan. And the Duck Hunters. And so now we have come to the end of our show. And I have done all of the math and the complicated tallies, and it turns out that our two teams are tied, 2,137 points to 2,137 points. It's crazy, I know. Why does this keep happening? So you, the audience, will have to decide who you like best tonight as a tiebreaker. Did you like the Duck Hunters, Nikki, Ashworth, DK Phan, and Keegan Hawkeswood? Or did you like the Windwakers, Joey Crewe, Sebastian, Chow, and Andy Wong? All right. The Duck Hunters take it. Congratulations, Duck Hunters.
Nikki.
You win a strawberry shortcake. This has been Comedy Game Showdown. I have been Dan Donnelly, your host. The Duck Hunters, once again, were Nikki Ashworth, DK Phan, and Keegan Hawkeswood. The Windwakers were Joey Crewe, Sebastian D. Chow, and Andy Wong. Our next episode will be our annual Christmas special, December 10th, right here in this room. You can also patronize us on Patreon, patreon.com/andascotchegg. It's the cheapest way to get tickets if you live in town. And thank you to our patrons. And go ahead and follow us on all the socials, and a Scotch Egg, because if you follow us, eventually we'll lead you to a land where there's a vacuum cleaner Pokemon. All right, thanks, guys, and have an excellent evening.